Hello and welcome back to the Dish the Dirt podcast, where I sit down with Australia's flower farmers and friends of the industry to share their stories, knowledge and insights. I'm your host, Rebecca Noble. Before we dig in, a little something I'm thrilled about. This episode is proudly sponsored by the Flower Summit. If you haven't heard of it yet, you will. It's a brand new 2-day celebration of women in floriculture, though everyone is welcome. Coming to Stanley Park near Newcastle this November. Think world-class speakers, hands-on workshops, and a whole community of flower people cheering each other on. And today, you're about to meet the powerhouse behind it. My guest is Jess, and honestly, she needs no introduction. She's the founder of the Flower Summit, and she runs the Newcastle Food and Flower Markets and the Newcastle Flower School. And that is just the hats that she'll admit to. Jess has been an entrepreneur since she was a kid. First job at 13, first company at 23, and these days her team does around 200 weddings a year. But what I really wanted to talk about today is where it all began and how a trip to meet female flower growers in the US lit the spark for something brand new in Australia. Let's get into it. I feel like you need no introduction, but this is Jess from the Flower Summit, also Newcastle Flower School, Flower Markets. What other hats are you wearing at the moment, Jess?
Oh, that's enough, Beck. I think
Okay.
for now, that is plenty.
Yeah, especially when you've had a very busy week, you're like, okay, enough
my
hats for
God.
this week. Next week, I'll think
Absolutely.
about another one.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
I
great.
will.
Yeah, so I wanted to go right back to the beginning with you today and where it all began. You grew up in Newcastle, and what were you like as a kid?
Yeah, well, I was always very entrepreneurial. School wasn't for me. I was a bit of a dreamer and was always dreaming of having my own business one day. Didn't know what it was at that time, but I just knew school wasn't for me. But at 13, I went to my local little IGA in Talara and spoke to Tommy Bullen and lied about my age and said, give me a job. And of course, he knew I wasn't at the right age, but he still gave me a job anyway. That taught me so much and made me grow up really fast. I was always surrounded by older people, and my best friend at that time and still is a close friend today was probably about 7 years my senior. So I was just always surrounded by older people. So I grew up really quickly, but I ended up moving to the Big Smoke. Actually, no, before that, I moved to Newcastle and
Yep,
was with
great.
my mum. Yeah, mum lived in Merriweather and um, grew up there and had some great times. And then my sister married quite young. She was living in Mossman, Sydney. So it was my, I guess, ticket to get out of Newey at the time. And the Big Smoke attracted me and wanted to get down there. And so I moved down there when I was 18, worked in the corporate world, and I had a really, I was in hospitality before then, of course, and then corporate world, and started my first company at 23, which is a big events company, and that went on for
wow.
about 15 years, and
Yeah.
it was really successful, but going through COVID and that, of course, as well.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So how did you start a company at the age of 23, did you say?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Funny.
How did that happen? Because that is, I was not grown up enough for a business at 23.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of, when I was younger, hanging around older people. So I was quite mature for my age, I think, even back then. And I always knew I wanted to have my own business. And I was working for a lovely man in hospitality who gave me my break, really, Con. And he ran some
Yeah.
great restaurants in Sydney and still does to this day. He's incredible. And he asked me to do his weddings, come in and be his wedding coordinator. And I did. And I loved that. I loved chatting to people. And I then saw the person that was coming in doing the weddings and, back when chair covers were really cool. I said, hey, they were coming in yellow. They were that dirty. And I just said, hey, give me a chance and let me start my own company.
Yeah.
And he went, okay, cool. So I then ended up getting 100 chair covers made in the garage by my auntie. And that was
Wow.
it. That was the beginning. And I kind of started off doing, one wedding a month, and then, then went into draping, and then went into centerpieces, and it just evolved from there. And we
Yeah.
ended up doing some of the biggest events in Sydney. One of the, I guess, big achievements for me, but extremely risky and stressful well into my career of my events company. But uh, I brought Australian Bridal Fashion Week to Australia. So it had never been done in Australia. So we flew out couturiers and buyers from all over the world and had one of the best runways in
Gosh.
the world. Yeah, I feel still really proud of that. I've never been able to take the Instagram down because I still look at that and go, my God, we did that.
Yeah.
But very stressful. You're in events, you're in couture, and you're in fashion, and some of the bitchiest industries you're in. And it was a really big risk. I mean, I'm going to be really truthful here. The first year, we lost a lot of money. I'm such a
Yeah.
big risk taker, but I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars I lost. But I knew
What did you
that.
learn from that?
Wow. Well, I kept going. I went on to the second year, did it, lost again, but not as much, but I knew I was on. And the third year went into it, but after that, I just didn't, it rattled me a lot. I think it
Yeah.
was a big learning experience for me. Just saying, do I want to, excuse me, uh, do I want to be in this industry? And it wasn't making my heart sing. It was a pretty nasty world. And I
Yeah.
remember I was really at my lowest point in my business to go, I'm risking my family. I've risked my family. My husband would never have said it. He was so supportive. But I remember
Mm.
going, my God, like, I don't know how we're going to do it. But I had this massive pull to go to Byron Bay. I'd never been there in my
Okay.
life, but I had a really big pull. And I said to my husband, I don't know what this is. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we're going to go. And lo and behold, we found this beautiful little cozy home. I was heavily pregnant with our third child, and that place changed my life, Beck. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
Well, I do know what it was because I've since met some beautiful Aboriginal women up there. And I
Mm.
remember meeting this beautiful woman at the lighthouse, and I just remember being there by myself and just tears going, what have I done? And this woman was just there, and she asked me if I was okay. And she proceeded to tell me, where you are, right? You're in one of the most spiritual places in Byron Bay for women. And it just changed my life. It got my groove back and I was on. So I think from that experience, I've always taken risks, and will I take them again? Of course, I do every day. But it definitely put things into perspective for me and what was important and where my heart was as well. And it wasn't in that space of that event. So I ended up giving it up. So yeah, it was a good experience.
And how did flowers get into the picture?
Yeah,
Were
wow.
they just part of the events business, or
Yeah,
how did
they
they
were.
first enter?
Always. Flowers were part of the business. I had a beautiful girl working with me who today is still one of my closest friends and in fact works at the Sydney Flower Markets. But she was phenomenal. She taught me everything there was to know when it comes to bridal bouquets and bridal flowers. And she was so particular and just incredibly talented at floral design. So I just used to watch her and watch her. And I remember into a wedding. She did all my weddings and I just was her assistant really. And I remember her falling sick and going, oh my God, I have to push out these bridal bouquets. How the hell am I going to do it? And it literally threw me into the boat. And it was a light bulb moment to go, oh my God, I've just done this. I've done this incredible bridal party wedding and bridal party flowers for this lovely couple. And that was it. I was on from there. So now to date, we do around 200 weddings a year.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Crazy woman.
Yeah, That's still a lot. That is a lot. So, what about flowers specifically made you want to keep those as opposed to the rest of the events business?
Yeah, they just make me so happy and grounded. It's my therapy every day. There's so many beautiful things that happen around flowers and, from growers, to conversations with other floral designers and creatives in the industry. It, it makes me, I don't know, I feel at home whenever I'm around flowers and wearing so many hats to date. And I don't think there is any more roles out there for me. This is it, Flower Summit. But I
Yeah.
feel so grateful of being, a market owner, a floral designer, a teacher, all of those beautiful things that come with florals. But yeah, I'm really lucky. I never take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were in Sydney, you went to Byron, you had sort of this pivotal moment, and then you ended up back in Newcastle and you started the Newcastle Food and Flower Markets.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, wow. So we've been here nearly 10 years, and I'd said to my girlfriend, who taught me everything I knew about flowers, I'd said to her probably 8 years beforehand, I'm going to bring the flower markets to Newcastle. I was dreaming of coming back home. I was a mummy and two beautiful boys at the time. We were pregnant with our third, and I was just dreaming of coming home. We'd come up here and I knew that I had to go back home and I'd cry. Like I really, really, like I manifested to be here. I dreamt about
Yeah.
it every day. And I was already making beautiful connections with my weddings and already doing weddings up in the Hunter Valley from being in Sydney and all that. And it was
Mm.
just by chance that my husband was poached by a company to come up to Newcastle, coincidentally. And we had Romeo in December at the RPA in Sydney. And we moved my business, his new job, a new home. We moved by January, mid-January, we were here. So
Yeah.
that's where it all began. And I remember starting the flower, or I think it was about a lot of, years planning that. That wasn't a thing that happened overnight, bloody hell. Creating the flower markets in Newcastle, far out.
Yeah.
It was mental, originally approaching the boys across the road at the markets, and they wouldn't know a good thing if it slapped them in the face. And I remember approaching them and they were like, oh, yeah. And I was just like, come on, guys, this market should be like the Sydney markets. We should be pumping out food and produce and all that sort of stuff. And I had this massive vision. So they let me go in there and it was amazing. It was very successful. We had a huge team creating that and getting ready for the launch. And we hadn't slept for about 48 hours. And the launch was amazing. But, when you do those sorts of things, it was a big project. There was lots of amazing positives. Nothing is
Yeah.
easy, in business, everyone
No.
thinks it's glitzy and glamorous, right, Beck? Like we all put the
Yeah.
hard yards in, and I'm not afraid of hard work. But 10 years later, we're still here, and it's definitely had some challenges over COVID and all those things that all of us went through. But I
Yeah.
feel so proud of where we are today. I really do.
Yeah, the story that you're sort of telling me is I feel like you're a person who, when you put your mind to something, there's nothing that is going to stop you, and that you're an entrepreneur. And, it's not easy to be that person in the room. It's never going to be easy. But these life lessons are so great to be able to share with other people as well.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there and not listening to the noise. I really love that. I love how you've connected with women right from that story that you've just told me in Byron Bay right through to now. Really, really amazing. You should be so proud of yourself to have accomplished all of that in your very short life so far.
Oh, thanks, Beck. Well, you know what hard work is, and no project happens overnight. You put your heart and soul. I do with everything I do. I live and breathe it, and but hard work pays off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, which part of business has surprised you the most?
Oh, yeah, that's a goodie. I would say, and not to focus on the negative because I'm really here to change this with Flower Summit.
Mm,
I shouldn't be surprised the amount of years I've been in business, but it still surprises me in Australia that the tall poppy thing.
mm.
I think it's so important now more than ever to get behind your sisters. There is room for all of us. And you and I both say this, that the more of us that join forces, the stronger we become. Like magic happens when we create beautiful things together. So I think that being in our last conversation, being in Washington last year and with botanicals, flower tours, it was so beautiful. Obviously, that's where Flower Summit was born, but to see these women in the US just root for one another. And, these women have farms next to each other, Beck, and they're like, you go, girl, you do it. Yeah, what can I help
Yeah,
you with? Like, it's so inspiring and
yeah.
beautiful. You just want to get on that train. You just are so pumped up and hyped up. And I got off the phone. It just made me think about it yesterday, but I got off the phone with a beautiful woman who Nat from Tannerwood. First time I've ever spoken to her yesterday. She is just, when you just meet someone and you just like, oh my God, and we're like, we couldn't talk enough. Like we couldn't get our words out quick enough. And it's so lovely to see other women like that. You're the same. There's so many beautiful women in our industry that want to see you succeed. Like that's what it should be. We should be here to raise each other up, not tear each other down.
I've definitely always believed in the more voices there are, the better. The more voices talking the right story,
Yeah.
the better, for sure. And yeah, I love seeing people come together, and magic really does happen when people all get into the same room. Like it is just
Mm.
insane. You'll just feel that energy shift. And uh, I was just talking to some other growers just before, and they a part of an organization, and they said it just changed their life because they were
Amazing.
able to, like, now on their phones, they're able to just WhatsApp someone if they've got a problem, and they're all growing the same thing, they're all selling the same thing, but they're all there to back each other, and it really
Love
does make a
that.
difference.
Yeah.
So getting
Sorry.
onto that and backing each other, the Flower Summit, how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so it was born in the US. We were there in August last year and I went and met some beautiful female flower growers and I just grew really close with one of them, Marin, from the Farmhouse Flower Farm. And she's just so beautiful and inspiring and just very enthusiastic. And we were just talking one
Yeah.
day and I just said, I can't believe obviously after spending time with these women over the few days, I was just like, God, there's no platform. And I was researching for women in floriculture that I knew of, and I went to her and I said, hey, listen, I I can't believe this isn't ever like this is hasn't even no one's come up with this around the world. And I said, I want to bring you out to Australia. And she said, well, do it. And I said, well, I am. She said, well, do it now. And I'm like, okay. And I did. I literally went from there. I was just this pocket rocket. I'd bought the company. I was on the plane. I was this and that. So before I came back to Australia, Flower Summit was born. I think I'd even announced it before we hit the ground in Australia, as I do.
You don't
As
muck
I'm
around when you've got an idea, that's for
I
sure.
know. Yes, my friends, most of my friends will say, do it the Jess way. Announce it before you've even planned it, and then you're accountable. You have to do it. So I just wanted to create a platform that showcases and elevates and celebrates women in floriculture because I think for so many years, and particularly women flower growers, haven't had a voice. And we just want to make them seen. We want to put them on the map. And every floral designer and stylist and creative educator, whatever it may be, you just might be a gardener that wants to be surrounded by incredible women.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So I'm excited.
So What is the Flower Summit Conference in your own words?
Yeah, it's an event that will inspire and empower you. You will feel so, I guess, when you walk out that door, I want people to just be buzzing. There is nothing better being in a room surrounded by other women and men, because this is for men too. We just happen to be
Okay.
celebrating women. There's lots of men coming to the event.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, which is so lovely. A lot of men growers and a couple of floral designers as well. And we want to see that grow, of course. But it's an event to inspire and empower one another and to connect. I think that is what people are really missing now. We've got people coming out from the UK, Chile, the US, obviously lots of people from interstate, which is beautiful. Um, yeah, it's going to be a really lovely event where you just gain lots of knowledge. And it's not just all about growers and floral designers. It's about, the speakers that we have invited to come along. They're there to enhance your business. And I think so
Mm.
many of us, need the social media trends, need to be more up to date with that, need to be more
Yeah.
familiar with branding and marketing and how to take the best photos. Because now everything is on the gram and it's an emotional sell. As soon as I see me as a market owner or a floral designer and I see a beautiful local grower posting about florals on Instagram, I'm like, right, how many bunches have you got to give me? So it's very powerful and it can be powerful for a business. So
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
absolutely. That's something, I think everyone maybe should be aware of is that it's sometimes easy to start the thing, right? Like it's
Mm.
easy, well, not easy, but say I'm a florist, I'm putting together a bouquet and I sell it. And that's all great. And I'm really great at building that bouquet. But there's all the other pieces that come
Yes.
along with the building of that bouquet that necessarily I'm not good at. I'm probably not good at figuring out how much money those flowers were to actually add the cost up so that I get paid correctly. How many hours did it take me to build this bouquet?
Yeah.
How do I market it? All of those other things that come along with having a business. So it sounds so great to have all of those in the one room
Yes.
and to learn from each other over that time.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, 100%, I think that's the hardest part of having a small business is all the extra bits that go with it.
Absolutely. We're all one man bands, right, at the end of the day. And we have to take care of our marketing. People don't understand what goes into having a business. It's not glitzy and glamorous at all. There's highs
Mm,
and there's lows. And I think, it's the education, isn't it? Really the education behind
yeah.
it and just, yeah, making it accessible to people and ensuring that they feel confident executing these things as well. I think that, if we can make it really accessible and easy for individuals to be able to, gain some knowledge on social media or, how to take those great photos or branding of some sort, then it's going to be
Yeah.
great.
How to channel the 18-year-olds within themselves.
Oh,
Because we all need that. I always think how I watch other younger people doing
oh
Instagram
my
and it's just
gosh.
like an extension of their body. And yeah, for someone of my age, it is not so easy. So
Yeah.
I just need to learn to channel that 18-year-old.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because we were recently been talking about putting yourself out there, and everyone's
Yeah.
terrified to do it, right? We all are. You and I. I've probably only the last 12 months. I used to hide behind the camera so much, and I don't know what made me just put myself out there, but I literally like there's times where I just feel like shit. And of course I don't want to do it. But I think keeping it real, raw, relatable, that's what people want to see. People want to see your hands dirty. People want to see no makeup on or, your hair all over the joint. It makes it a little bit funny and relatable because people just prefer that. We're not here to look like we walk out of a salon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wish I could walk out of a
I
salon every
know.
day.
Wouldn't that be nice? Bring that
So
on.
the event, so yeah. So the event is happening at Stanley Park.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the venue and why you've chosen it?
Yeah, I chose this beautiful venue. It's really organic. It's on the water. It's a huge property. a friend of mine owns, and I work with her a lot with some weddings. But I wanted this place because I just didn't want all of us in a hotel, four walls, feeling enclosed, and it's not any of us. We're all creatives who want nature. So I chose it for the space. We're working with a beautiful company called Catalane, where they're bringing in really big, large teepee structures. It's going to be very, very almost like, I guess, I don't want to call it a conference, but it's like a festival of all of us, in a really beautiful space. Lots of chill out areas, lots of great spaces where you can go and just, take some time out during the 2 days as well. But yeah, it's a beautiful
Yeah,
property.
for
Very
sure.
happy to be there.
Yeah. So I know that we've said that this, Flower Summit is about women who bloom or women in
Yeah.
floriculture, but you've also said that this event is for anyone. So
Yes.
if someone's listening right now and wondering whether they should come, who would you speak to directly and why should they come?
Yeah, everyone is welcome. This event has been put together to connect and inspire one another, I think, share knowledge, with that person. This is what it's all about, I think. And friendships, growing new friendships.
Yeah.
This industry of ours is growing so fast. There's such a beautiful movement, especially of female growers, but everyone is welcome. There's so many phenomenal male floral designers out there. There's so many incredible male growers out there. We want to, celebrate them as well. We have Sam from
Yeah.
Business Brother, who's a bloke. He's one of our speakers, and he's phenomenal. So there's already men attending, so everyone is welcome.
Yeah, great. Can you tell me who a few of the speakers are? Are we allowed to know?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
is
yeah.
that hush
So
hush?
no.
Yeah, great.
US speakers, Marin Mathis from Farmhouse Flower Farm. We've got beautiful Anne Long from the Dahlia House. We've got Jennifer Gulazia from the Flowering Farmhouse Flower Farm. God, that's a mouthful. We've got beautiful Kath from Plum Tree, who is an incredible grower. We've got Teagues from I Must Grow Flowers, who is amazing at soil, and she's such an incredible, beautiful person. We've got Jen from Southern Highlands Flower Farm. Oh my God. We've got Ash from Alchemy Social House. We've got Sam from Business Brother, Beck Esery Photography. Uh, so there's so many beautiful people involved in this. And we're still going. We've got Olivia Coots from Pemberley, who is doing an incredible presentation on a floral install on stage and lots of other secret things.
Yeah,
That's a
cool.
secret scroll business. But yeah, lots of beautiful things happening as well. So we're still going. I've just recently chatted to a few other females who will be doing lots of little presentations, new products coming out into the industry as well. So it's exciting.
Yeah, great. Absolutely. So, what would you say to someone, because we just spoke about imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
to someone sitting, and I hear this a lot, someone sitting there who thinks that maybe they're not established enough to go or they're not big enough to go? What would you say to them?
Do it. Do it. It is going to be, I think, for someone that is feeling. Yeah, because I had a couple of messages last week. There's two beautiful, I think I mentioned this to you, two beautiful girls in Tassie, who
Yeah.
are like, oh, God, is this for me? Of course it's for you. It doesn't, I mean, if you just want to be inspired and you want to, you're just starting out as a micro grower or you're just starting out as a student in floristry, this is for you. This is for up and coming flower lovers. This is for established flower lovers. And it's for people that are looking to connect and learn a new skill, share knowledge as well. So it's for everyone. I think it's going to be such a powerful event for us all in the industry, including myself.
And what will make you feel you've completely nailed it when people walk away on day two?
I have visualized this so much. Oh my God. I just want them to go away and I just want them to feel like this is the beginning for them and that they are a part of this beautiful growing tribe of like-minded individuals in our industry, and we're a family. We're there to, reach out to everyone. I don't know, I want to touch everybody through everyone's stories as well. So it's
Yeah.
just the beginning.
Yes, wonderful. And just the beginning, is this a one-time event or is this the beginning of something ongoing?
This is the
I'm going to
beginning of
lock you in
something
now.
amazing. I think this will evolve, of course, over time. I think an annual event is going to be so important for our industry, and it will move. I think we want to give every state the opportunity to potentially have something. And look, there's going to be lots of mini things happening over the years as well, like lots of mini networking events, lots of workshops, lots
Mhm.
of the education side. We'll be traveling around a lot with this, and not just Australia wide, but obviously we want to launch in other places. That's the big dream,
Yes.
to connect us all over the world. Like, it's so inspiring getting these messages from beautiful growers in Chile. And that's, that touches my heart because that's where my husband's from. But that inspires me to, when really influential people reach out to us, and I'm blushing, like I've got crushes on these people, and they're like, "You're doing something amazing." So that always makes me feel all this hard work. And I mean, there's so much hard work that's gone into this. And we're not,
Yeah.
we don't have a team of 10 people at all. There's just a few of us behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I've worked really hard to get this off the ground, but I know it's paying off because it's so lovely to see beautiful messages pile in from people as well.
I was going to ask you, after everything that you've built and all the ideas that you have, what actually lights you up on the day to day, but I feel like you've just answered it then, but maybe you have a different answer.
You know what? My husband said this to me yesterday, and my husband's really, he grounds me. I'm the up there. He's the one that pulls me down when I need to be pulled down, which is often. But he just said to me, like, I can't believe you built something in such a short amount of time, and you have these people saying yes, yes, yes to you. And it's so, like, it's the beginning. Um, and he actually asked me that question, what you just asked me. He said, "What lights you up?" And I think it's the connections, Beck. It's
Mm.
connecting people, and the people that I haven't even spoken to and reaching out to. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I just love that, the connection. I'll say it's connecting people and the connections that I'm making as well. That lights me
Yeah,
up.
great. Yeah. And I know you work with flowers every day, but, has that ever become routine to you? Bored with it, or does it still kind of catch you even now?
Even now, back 25 years later, I am so passionate. Like, I'm crazy. If you get me anywhere near flowers, I only have to walk into a beautiful flower shop. Wherever we go, if we travel, the first thing I go to is a flower shop. Or,
Oh,
you
so do
know,
I. Mm.
isn't it beautiful? Don't you just get
Yeah, so
inspired?
great.
And oh my God, I love that. I think, no, I don't think I'll ever get sick of this. Like, whenever I say to my husband, am I coming to an end with weddings? He just laughs. He'll go, I don't think you'll ever stop doing something like that. And I'm not. I'll always, I think, to the day I die, with my end game and where we are going, it's always flowers. It's always there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Fantastic. Is there a moment with flowers that's kind of stopped you in your tracks?
So many beautiful moments. There was a little moment recently. I went on a tour, just a road trip tour locally, and I remember why this beautiful female grower was talking to one of my colleagues. I just went off and went into the farm and did some little lives. But I remember just standing there going, "Oh my God, I've dreamed this into my life." I always said I want to travel the world and interview amazing women in our flower world. And that was a moment for me to go, oh my God, like, I'm here, I'm doing it. It's the start, but I'm doing it. So I've always said I don't know, I've dreamt these things into my life. So that was really special because, yeah,
Yeah.
it's emotional when you get to that point and go, oh my God, I'm actually doing what I said I would do 5 years ago.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
I don't take it for
I think
granted.
you haven't just dreamed. I'm going to stop you there because I don't think you've just dreamed it into your life. I think you've really put some hard steps into getting there. And as much as, and this is probably my side of things, is, people talk about manifesting, but manifesting does come with then putting steps into your life that are actionable and
Yeah.
doing those steps because you are dreaming of that thing all the time. You're thinking of it. But yes, you do therefore put actionable steps into your life. And I can see that with you. You've really put these actionable steps in and you're achieving what you've wanted to achieve because you've put in the hard yards as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Beck. That means a lot. It's definitely lots of hard work, but I'm loving it.
Yeah. Great. So you've built so much in a relatively short space of time. You must agree. there's a lot.
Yeah.
What's the version of success that actually matters to you? Not just
Wow.
the business metrics, but the real thing.
Yeah. We did speak about this the other day, you and I, but
Yeah.
I found this so many people would always ask me, what's success to you, Jess? And
Mm.
I I remember back in the days, I can't remember how old I was. I'd started my events company and I was always surrounded by, I guess very entrepreneurial people because I think if you are that and you're dreaming it, you always are running into people. I was always really inquisitive. Like I just wanted to know how you made you, like, these really wealthy people. Money to me, I'm not a greedy person, but I was fascinated how they had become so successful. And one of
Mm.
the best pieces of advice I got from this beautiful man, he said to me, and I was always like this, he said, Jess, you never know who you're talking to. He said, I've never once judged anyone in my life. And he said, you never know who you're talking to. And that has stuck with me forever.
Mm.
Everyone has a story, and I have been surrounded by, very, very wealthy people who look like they're pretty much homeless, and you would never know that the wealth that they have behind them. They drive a very
Mm.
basic car. They don't show it off. I love that. I think for me now, success is waking up and doing whatever I want, and for that
Yeah.
to me, that means that being present with my boys. And
Mm.
there's a moment I say it all the time. My husband gets sick of it when I say it, but success to me is going to be me and my beautiful boys and their wives and children around a long table because I've never had this.
Mm.
So for me, this is my family. I just will know when I get to that point, I'll just go, oh, and it always makes me really teary is that success to me, Beck. Really
Yeah.
simple. I'm a pretty simple person.
Yeah.
That's when I know we did it,
Yeah.
and this
Great.
is it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So, what's the biggest piece of advice you'd give to someone who wants to build something in the industry, whether it's a flower business, a market, I don't know, a podcast,
Yeah.
or just even the courage to kind of start out? What would be your piece of advice?
Never give up and don't be afraid to take a risk. What's the worst that can happen? Just get back on the horse and keep going. In life, you'll always get disappointment and you'll get someone that wants to turn your light off. You just have to forget the noise, block it out, stay on your train and have that beautiful goal, live and breathe that goal of where you want to go. And nothing is out of reach. I think if you want something, you can have anything. If you work hard for it and if you're passionate about it, then you will have it. There's nothing to stop you from doing what you want. I think if you have a bit of a plan, and a plan's always good. very spontaneous. I do a lot of things on the fly, but I think at the same time, I still have a bit of a plan. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, but don't give up. Just forget the noise and just keep going and surround yourself with beautiful, beautiful people who are always going to raise you up and give you good, honest, strong advice as well.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
few,
great.
wasn't it?
No, but that's okay. It's always good to give, it's good to give all of that advice. And it was, it's basically, yeah, keep on with that dream and make sure
Yeah.
that you're, yeah, sticking to your goals and you'll get there, which is really great. And connecting with other people. Like I said
Yeah.
before, other grower that I just spoke to, they connected with an industry body that's really helped them out. It's finding your people to connect to.
Yeah.
And I know that you've got something coming up next for you, which is probably live this week, I think. It's your memberships.
Yes, yes. We just
Yeah.
tomorrow we go live with our new memberships. So we've done a lot of work with these to be able to enhance everyone's businesses, and whether or not you're a start out, it's got different tiers that will suit you. We are almost ready very soon to launch our app, which is so exciting. And there's so many beautiful things on there for the industry, community forums, and our media house, which is amazing, where you've got access, to be showcased. And, if you don't want to put yourself out there, well, we're going to put you out there, whether or not you like it or not. We definitely will be putting you in the spotlight. But yeah, I'm excited about that, Beck. It's taken a little bit, obviously, when you start out, you want to do some basic things, but I think there's some really beautiful inclusions there for the memberships.
Yeah, yeah, great. And with the membership, so they get sort of workshops, what do they get?
Yeah.
Like just maybe in the basic one, tell me about that.
Yeah, the basic one is really getting you out there. So you'll get your membership login on the app, and obviously with us here at Flower Summit, it's just a basic listing where, I guess it's the people that are a little bit scared to take the leap, but jumping into that, and you're part of the community as well. So, there's lots of nice little things for the basic, and then it steps up, obviously, where you've got access into, the media house, and then,
Yeah,
going up from there, workshops, the education side for people that are a bit more established, and wanting
yeah,
to take their business to another level as well. So social
yeah,
media strategy
fantastic.
sessions, things like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, sounds like something, I wish I had around when I started my floristry business. Just wasn't accessible then. There was no one really doing that. So, yeah, if I was starting out again, I'd be hitting that add to my cart
Oh, thanks,
for
Beck.
sure.
I
What's
think that's
that?
just going to be really lovely. Like, there's so many people that have, that DM us that have questions, whether or not, it's connecting. How do I connect with this, floral designers, connecting with growers? And I think that is going to be something so exciting. I'm seeing so much more of that beautiful local, like the florists really wanting to get connected with local flower growers. This is going to be, I think,
Yeah,
one of the most exciting things. I think there's been such a gap, and it was a very good talking point. We brought this up, I know, a few months ago, and there was lots of comments on it. Connecting the florist with flower growers and vice versa, and florists not knowing how they can connect with them. So I think that's going to be such an important and positive thing for the industry. These up and
yeah,
coming aspiring flower growers that want to, sell their product, and they've got these amazing florists that they can offload their beautiful flowers to. Nothing better.
yeah, exactly. So, to end the podcast, I'm going to do a couple of quick questions and then I am going to ask you the question I ask everyone, which you'll know what it is, but you can maybe think about it in the back of your mind. So, a business, book, podcast, or person that shaped how you think.
I told you this the other day. You've inspired me for years. Love what
Thank
you
you.
do and love what you're doing for the industry.
No, thanks.
You're welcome.
A dream dinner guest? Anyone who's living or dead?
Michael Jackson.
Yes, I like that.
Yes. Mm.
And what does your morning routine look like?
Well, I have 3 boys, Beck. So, definitely as soon as I wake up, it's dreaming of a beautiful cup of coffee, and school runs. It's amazing. Three boys going in all different directions.
Yeah.
I'd
Sometimes
love
as people, we just need to like be able to split ourselves
oh,
into,
yeah,
5 different people. That would be so great.
it's a journey.
And do you have one word that describes the Flower Summit and what it means to you?
Empowering.
Great. I love that word. What 3 things are you going to take with you if you have to leave your business quickly?
My laptop,
Mm.
my dog. Oh, should I say my kids first?
No, kids
Or
are
no?
a given. They've
Okay.
already gone. Like, don't worry
Okay.
about humans. Yeah.
Definitely my laptop. So and my laptop and my phone, can that be one? Because then I can still stay connected to
Yeah.
my beautiful Flower Summit community.
Yeah.
My Merry People boots and my green hip overalls.
Great. I love
Yeah.
that. And what 3 things do people need to pack when they're coming to the Flower Summit?
Oh God, that's going to be a double up. Definitely. Well, we're on a property, so I think that, Merry People boots is a given. I would say that you would
They're such good boots. I have a pair and I love them.
so beautiful.
Mm.
I would say your green hip overalls, but you're going to be able to purchase them there at the event. So I would
Mhm.
say pack your boots, pack some Panadol, just in case you might have a headache after a few wines at the cocktail event, and a bag of happiness and partiness. Get ready. Get ready for some
Yeah.
fun.
Pack your vibe.
Yeah, pack your vibe. I love that.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you wanted to share about what's coming up, what you've got going on that I haven't asked you about?
No, I'd probably say maybe we are a few months off launching the Australian grower-led flower pricing guide, which will be such a great
Mm.
thing for the industry. I know lots of people are very excited about that. That has been an absolute monster to work on
I bet.
and will be a constant monster. Uh, to
Yeah.
update that. That will be done seasonally, but it's the most important thing. It's coming from the growers. I think for years this has been dictated by lots of other people and not very much the growers. So this is going to be a great thing for them and for floral designers to be able to price with clarity and confidence.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sounds like a helpful tool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jess. I can't wait to see you at the Flower Summit,
Oh,
and I can't wait to meet everyone at the Flower Summit and to be talking to them about their stories. And yeah, it's sounds like such a powerful event. And I know what it's like when you get a bunch of flower people in the same room, and it's really, really bloody cool.
oh, yes, definitely. Can't wait to have you there as our official media podcast partner.
This episode was proudly sponsored by the Flower Summit, and if Jess's story stirred something in you, consider this your sign to be in the room. The Flower Summit is a 2-day celebration of women in floriculture, though everyone is welcome. With world-class speakers from across Australia and around the world, hands-on workshops, and a whole lot of people who'd rather cheer you on than compete with you. It's happening on the 24th and 25th of November 2026 at Stanley Park, just outside Newcastle. A stunning 28-acre property right on the water. And Dish the Dirt is the proud official podcast and media partner. So I'll be there capturing all the stories. I'd love to see you there too. Head to flowersummit.com.au for tickets and all the details. And get in early because the good ones never hang around. Thanks so much to Jess for sharing her story, and thank you to you for listening. If this one lit a fire, share it with a flower-loving friend and hit subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, keep being blooming fabulous.